TTRL. We are joined by Parriss of Parriss and the Night. Hello, Parriss. How are you?
Hey, I'm well. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. So I just recently found out about you a few months ago with the first single you released. What's the name of it again? Waiting for the Night, right?
Waste the night. Waste the night. Yeah.
Waste the Night. Waste the Night. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a groove. It's a vibe. Your whole style is a whole ass vibe. And I heard about it because Philip Charos was playing with you, I think. And
yeah, huge shout out to Philip. Huge shout out to Philip. Instrumental in making this happen. There wouldn't be a Parriss in the Night without Philip, I would say. Like when I didn't have like a laptop or a means to record, he let me come to his and his brother's studio and spend hours and hours making beats with him, and that for free. You know, they did that professionally, and he did that as a friend just because he believed in the project. So huge shout out to Philip. I just had to get that, out of the way first and foremost, because it definitely wouldn't be possible without him. But yeah, he was we produced Waste the Night together. And the funny thing about that song is that the music, like the industry has changed so much and the sound has changed so much. I actually wrote that in my studio apartment in like 2012, like my first apartment. It was called Downtown Apartments. Like that was the actual name of it. 6th Street, 1st Avenue South back in the day. Like that's when you could pay $600 a month, all utilities. Today's kids will truly never know. But I wrote that in 2012, and it took so long to like get it together and find the means to record it. The version has changed so many times. It's actually like been like 8 different songs throughout the years. So it's cool that we finally got to put the final product out in 2020, 8 years later. And I'm glad that's some of the best feedback to hear, that it's a vibe. That's basically all that I really want to accomplish, is music that people can literally just vibe to.
What was it about this version of that song that you're like, this is the one that I want to release?
It was more along the lines of I started taking music like really seriously around 2017, and I just needed to put music out there. I kept waiting for the right moment for the stars to align, and it's like you can't really make the stars align sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta put yourself out there. And so it had gone through so many versions, like the styles of music kept changing. I'm like, well, now if we put it out now, it'll sound too dated. Like this was me at 2015 talking about 2012 version of the song. And then I kind of just got over that and was just like, I don't want to be like 50 years old talking about the song that I did in 2012. And there's nothing wrong with people starting music at 50, but I'm like, I already have a song, might as well put it out there, and I figured nothing was going to happen until I took a leap. So
can you tell us about this song?
Thirsty?
In particular? Mm-hmm.
Yes, Thirsty. Thirsty is, so to transition, when we released Waste the Night at the end of February of 2020, and I thought I was being clever, February 29th, that only happens once every 4 years. But I didn't know about this, like the whole COVID thing was going to hit like it did. So as soon as we dropped that song, everything else just dropped, period. And I didn't know that was our first song. So we had like concerts lined up, not concerts, but like a couple gigs lined up that we weren't able to proceed with. And I was like, how am I going to market this thing? And I really kind of got into a slump, and like people were so serious about it. Like I didn't even want to like put images of like t-shirts I was working on or anything, because I was so afraid that people would be like, people are dying, and it's true. They'd be right about that. But now that things have kind of calmed down, I was like, yeah, throughout the whole time, basically, I still worked on music and I had beats in the mix because I knew things would calm down. And Thirsty was probably the most solid out of those projects that really kind of stuck with me. Inspiration wise, I actually wrote it about somebody that I ended up being really close with, that I dated, and it was always a plan that they would have to move to Spain, but we ended up being much closer than we anticipated. And so that song is about kind of having to deal with the heartache of knowing that someone has to leave and they're an ocean away and so on and so forth. But on a light note, I was lucky enough to be able to write it when that person came back. They came back during the pandemic, so we flew them back. And So that's one of those stories where I didn't have to write it about a permanent heartbreak. It ended up working out in that situation.
If I told you I was thirsty, would you pour wine down my throat? And when I get lost in the ocean, will you let me in your boat? 'Cause the sun still beats without you, but no more does my heart. I can only dream about you. My mind goes where you are. But if I was wrong, what would you say if I asked you to turn back around and stay? Would you tell me I waited too long, I came in too late, that you knew it all along? Here I am now, I split the whole ocean. If I just knew how to tell you that I need you.
Hey everyone, welcome. We are here with the Zaddy-in-Chief of Creative Loafing Tampa, Ray Roa, and the Witch-in-Chief, the Ybor, Caroline DeBrule. Hey folks.
Hi there. How are you?
Fabulous. And it is Pride Month. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride, everyone.
Tampa Pride was actually the first Pride in the country since COVID.
Florida.
So of course.
Keeping it open for everyone.
Amen.
And it provided St. Pete Pride a unique opportunity to try something new. So we're going to be celebrating all year. Well, we always celebrate Pride all year long, but we'll have extra special celebrations all month long with different theme weeks for St. Pete. So I can't wait to read the full Pride guide in Creative Loafing.
What are some
Yeah,
of the
so
theme weeks?
it's out on stands right now.
Yeah, so they're doing a different theme each week. They're doing
Summer camp.
out and about for the first week. It's all about getting outdoors and health and fitness. And they're having these anchor events at every Saturday. And so they're doing like a 5K. And then the second week they're doing family. We are family. To kind of focus on, thinking of when Pride started, it was not very common, to have same-sex parents, and now that is a very common thing. So it's really great to see that portion of Pride grow. And obviously have parents and family members be more supportive of their own family members and the children in their families that do identify in the LGBTQ community. And then we have Arts and Culture Week. And then the final week, I think, is a taste of Pride. So it's all foodie for all the fabulous foodies out there. And then the final big celebration with fireworks and a picnic, and will be at the end of the last Saturday of the month. So a little bit of everything, and so you can kind of
I'm
get
getting a lot of feedback that this format's actually better. That people actually like it better than a big parade or celebration. So that's been the overall feedback that I've had.
I love it. I mean, I love a big party, and I'm a beads whore, okay? Like I actually do worse at Prides. I do better at Gasparilla. I do love that they're switching it up. And I think it's, it allows us to kind of reimagine how you want to celebrate. And I feel like not everyone is down for the loud, big party parade celebration. Some people might want a more chill picnic, or kind of a more
or run a 5K, which I can't imagine doing, but like, good on them. Want to wake up at like 7 a.m. and run? Like, absolutely. You should be proud that you are, part of the LGBTQ plus community and wanting to get up at 7:30 in the morning and run. It doesn't.
Yes, they can do that, and then we can meet up for brunch afterwards.
I'm Gabby, and I play guitar, and I also sing.
And I'm John. I do the mandolin and also sing.
Patrick Doyle. I play the banjo and I sing.
My name is Nilu, and I don't sing, but I do play upright bass.
How long have y'all been playing together?
The band?
Yeah, go ahead, Pat.
The band's been together about 3 years under that name. John and I have been playing music together for much longer than that. We've been in a couple of other bands together, but the Wandering Hours is a trio for several years. It's John and Gabby and I. Taylor joined us last year, and Nilu has just joined us here in 2021, which is great. It's a big full sound with a fiddle and a bass, along with banjo, mandolin, and guitar.
Do you feel like where you grew up influenced your sound individually, and then of course collectively?
Definitely.
Yeah, for me, I have an aunt and uncle who in Wisconsin who played old time music. They played mandolin and fiddle and guitar, and even though I wasn't super into it like as a teen when I was getting into music, I do remember like sitting around in their old time folk jams when I was a little kid, and now as an adult, I'm like, oh man, if I could go back to that moment and like soak it in a little bit more, it would be great, because that's exactly the type of stuff we're playing.
Oh, for me, it was like totally not I did not grow up on this at all. Coming from parents who were immigrants from Colombia, definitely more of the salsa music and stuff like that, and then whatever was on the radio during the 80s. And then, but really, what got me into bluegrass and old time music was being a teenager and getting into the Grateful Dead, and then Jerry Garcia opening my mind to that type of stuff, bluegrass and old time music as well, Old in the Way and all that sort of stuff. So it was more, not so much that I grew up on it, but it started more like early 20s to get into the music.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much you know about what we do. It's kind of a mix between bluegrass, old time Appalachian, and then a lot of songs that we write in that vein, and also a little bit outside of that vein. And we try to write, encouraging lyrics. We try to have up-tempo music people can tap along to or dance to. And that's kind of our aim, I think, with the music, is just uplifting. And sometimes the lyrics can be dark, but the melody will be uplifting.
Yeah, there's kind of a tradition in traditional music of songs that sound happy, but if you listen to the lyrics, are actually very, very sad. Like murder ballads, but they're fast and you can dance to them, that sort of thing.
Bluegrass, right? Bluegrass is all about that. Like, I'm so happy, but my woman's in the river somewhere, or something like that.
1, 2.